So this is Pope Francis's latest encyclical, and this comes from the Vatican webpage. Encyclical letter, Fratelli Tutti, of the Holy Father Francis on fraternity and social friendship. In actual fact, this is a document on Catholic social doctrine, but it's very well disguised. Now, their social theology will only work, of course, if there are enough poor people that they can get on board. So the poorer they can make society, the more likely they are to succeed in getting the power that they want.
Yes.
This was a very dangerous precedent. Now, again, he refers to Laudato Si. This Grand Imam Ahmad al-Tayyib, he was also a source of inspiration. We met in Abu Dhabi. So this has all been prepared beforehand.
Yes.
And the mega religions of the world seem to be on board. Of course, he has to bring in the COVID-19 pandemic and the reasons why we need rapid change. Anyone who thinks that the only lesson to be learned was the need to improve what we were already doing or to refine existing systems and regulations is denying reality. We need change. The new normal.
Yeah, the Great Reset.
We have to go to the Great Reset. So globalization and progress without a shared roadmap won't work. You need a shared roadmap. And then he starts off by talking about without borders. Certain populist political regimes, as well as certain liberal economic approaches, maintain that an influx of migrants is to be prevented at all costs. Who is he talking about again?
Yeah, the United States.
The United States. And any other country that refuses to take migrants.
Yes. They had a big issue in Europe.
A big one in Germany and all over the world. This is a major issue. But the Pope has always maintained that we have to have migrants. We have to mix the cultures. I'm wondering whether he wants to mix cultures or whether he wants to mix religions. Because cultures come with religions. Migration, more than ever before, will play a pivotal role in the future of our world. A life close to transcendence and entrenched in individual interests. Individuality must go. We need common values, common good. Revealing once more the ineludible and blessed awareness that we are part of one another, that we are brothers and sisters of one another. We're all one. Communism has everybody even wearing the same clothes.
Driving the same car.
Driving the same car, everything is the same. Individuality is something that must be faded out. The common destination of created goods. This led them to realize that if one person lacks what is necessary to live with dignity, it's because another person is detaining it. So if you have something and another person doesn't have, you are at fault because you have. Not the other person because he doesn't bother to attain it. Well, there are some that can't attain it and they have to be taken care of, true. But this is typical social doctrine of the Roman Catholic Church. St. John Chrysostom summarizes it in this way. Not to share our wealth with the poor is to rob them and take away their livelihood. In other words, if you own something, you are a thief. The riches we possess are not our own, but theirs as well. In the words of St. Gregory the Great, when we provide the needy with their basic needs, we are giving them what belongs to them, not to us. This is not biblical thinking.
No.
If you provide the needy with the means to be able to take care of themselves, if you educate people, if you give them incentives to work and to attain, then they don't have to find the riches in someone else's house. Yeah.
So nothing you own is actually yours. If you drive
Nothing
a
you
car,
own.
then
It's
somebody
not your car.
it's not your car.
If someone has need of it, he can take it. It is natural and inherent right that takes priority over others. All other rights having to do with the goods necessary for the integral fulfillment of persons, including that of private property or any other type of property, should, in the words of St. Paul VI, in no way hinder this right, but should actively facilitate its implementation. You don't own anything. The right to private property can only be considered a secondary natural right, derived from the principle of the universal destination of created goods. This has concrete consequences that ought to be reflected in the workings of society. Rights without borders. No one then can remain excluded because of his or her place of birth, much less because of privileges enjoyed by others who were born in lands of greater opportunity. The limits and borders of individual states cannot stand in the way of this. So if you have become a rich nation because you are a hard-working people, then you have to give that away to the poorer people.
Yeah.
You have to. This is Catholic social doctrine. So capitalism, in all its forms, must disappear. We need a synthesis.
Church and state.
Church and state together. You have private property, but only under a social mortgage. And anything that you own is not yours.
Yeah.
So the right to private property is always accompanied by the primary and prior principle of the subordination of all private property to the universal destination of earth goods, and thus the right of all to their use. You have nothing